Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some Age of Mythology Retold. I am super excited. I am super excited to be seeing this screen right here. FREYR, the new major god that is going to be added to the main game. And this is fantastic. It's a new major god for the Norse faction. Let's dive straight into this and see what this major god is about. So FREYR, god of fertility and kingship. The focus is technology and defense. So probably going to be looking at maybe like a turtle eco style play. But let's see what the pros do with this major god, how they play. Sometimes it's not always the case of if it's technology and defense, we can't be aggressive, all that kind of stuff. So let's see how that sort of plans out. But let's have a quick look at the overview down here. So we can see it has a potent defense god power that gets more powerful with each age advancement. Technologies cost a lot cheaper for both food, wood, and gold by 50%, but they take 150% longer to research. So this is very similar. They're taking a few things from Age of Empires 3 here, and this is something maybe around Italy on Age of Empires 3, where all of the tech is free, but it takes really long to actually come in. This is slightly similar. We've got a 50% discount, but it's going to take you 150% longer to get that stuff in. Hill forts and hill fort units do a lot more damage, 10%. Repairing buildings is free. That's kind of huge there, very nice. And gatherers and dwarves can repair as well. So definitely focusing around defense style strategy here, which is nice to see. So let's get into some of the juicy bits on the right hand side here. Let's see all of the god powers and all that kind of stuff. So we do have the innate one here, which is the Gullinbursty. Target one of your town centers or your allies to summon and command Freyr's golden boar, Gullinbursty, I think that is, to defend the area. So Gullinbursty becomes stronger each age. So this is kind of a little bit like going back to Age of Empires 3 again. I know some of you maybe haven't played that game, or it's been a very long time since you've played it, but we have like a card called like the town militia card, where you can, over time, you can send out some militia from your town center to defend if you're in a tricky spot. And this is kind of a little bit similar. Instead, it's a huge freaking great boar that gets stronger after each age. So once again, it's a nice defensive option if you're getting harassed quick, for example, or if there's a rush on your hands. The Gullinbursty could be the choice for you that you could use. Let's have a look at the first god power here. We have Freyr's Gift. So FREYR increases the HP of all human soldiers and heroes. The upgrade cost or the favor cost of that decreases with each technology researched. And that's kind of interesting because it says technology researched there. But then if we look here, it says that we have a potent defense god power. It gets more powerful with each age advancement. So that's probably referring to the Gullinbursty here. So FREYR's Gift is going to get cheaper the more you invest in your technology. How cheaper that is, it doesn't specifically say here. Going to have to find that out in some play testing, but it's nice to see. But yeah, this is going to be a later game option. Maybe when you're in Age 3 or Age 4, you're going to want to lock in FREYR's Gift and use it. Maybe if there's a huge fight about to happen, and it's going to give you a significant boost to the HP of all your units. So that's nice to see. Okay, moving on to Age 2. Two of the minor gods here. We have FREYR, which is a minor god that we already have in the game. So I'm not really going to go over FREYR too much. I'm just going to be looking at the new minor god options that we have here for FREYR here. We have FREYR, or FREYR, and this is FREYR. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below how to actually pronounce these two slightly different here. The way I see it, it looks like FREYR and FREYR, but I'm probably completely wrong there. But let's have a look at this guy. He's on skis, for Christ's sake. How is this even possible? Skis back in that day and age. We've got Ulla here. Ulla, I believe, god of oaths and archery, focuses for the longhouse units and defenses. So this one's quite nice. I really want to try this minor god out because we have some juicy stuff here. Let's work left to right. We have the Asgardian Bastion. We can target a location to summon a foundation that will materialize into a spectral hill fort when fully constructed. Builds faster in later ages. So this is a hill fort, but it's a spectral hill fort. So does that mean that in Age 2 you can actually have a full hill fort? We'll have to see how strong the hill fort is in Age 2 compared to a normal hill fort that you would build in Age 3 and 4. But that's very interesting. And as we mentioned down here, hill forts and hill fort units do more damage. So once again, this could be a nice god power to use. Maybe you could put this in a forward position. You could do something aggressive in age 2. You could slam this spectral hill fort down. You could then start making really, really tanky and damaging hill fort units with your extra passive ability that you have here. Let's look at the mythological unit here. We have the Draugr, which is like very similar to, if you've seen Game of Thrones, for example, the icy sort of zombie style units, ghoul type of units, and we have a Draugr here. So it's a myth unit, reanimated archer that fires spectral arrows which penetrate all enemies in their path, and they're good against human soldiers. And interestingly, we can see 225 wood there, 14 favor, 2 pop space, and takes 14 seconds to come out. So really interesting unit. Really want to see the Draugr in action. It sounds absolutely amazing. We have an upgrade, of course, like we always do with the myth unit, and it is Ulla's. It is the Valgaldra here. Ulla's magical upgrades, magic upgrades Draugr to the Revenant Draugr, which harness the chilling touch of winter for improved range and attack damage. So we're going to have an increase on all action damage by 20%. A really big boost to range there. Look at that, 5 boost to ranged attack for the maximum range, and also adds 5 to the charged ranged attack maximum range as well. And they have an increase to their line of sight. So basically just means that they have an increased line of sight. We have Servants of Glory here. Ulla's determination improves the movement speed of longhouse units and allows them to use a short burst of speed after standing idle. So we can see here nice speed buffs to the Herdmen, to Throwing Axemen, and to the Berserks as well. Just remember, Berserks are the Ulfsarks of the old day. The Herdman is a brand new unit. That is a melee unit, and they tend to be good. They do bonus damage against heavy cavalry. Berserks used to be called Ulfsarks, no longer do bonus damage to cavalry. They just have a base attack damage. They're just an all-rounder unit now. Let's move on. We have Ring Oath here. So Ulla vows to defend the realm of men, allowing his Asgardian Bastion god power to be recast with a greatly reduced favor cost. So it's a 60% Asgardian Bastion favor cost there. And that is this one right here. So you can drop down a second Spectral Hill Fort for a lot cheaper. The favor cost is going to be a lot cheaper for you to do that. So, and that's quite a nice one. Very cheap as well. 75 coin, only 10 favor. I can see some kind of either defensive play or even aggressive play with dropping down these Spectral Hill Forts. And once again, we'll see how good these Spectral Hill Forts really are. So we have Waidalir maybe, or Yidalir. So Ulla gifts you his famed Udales, enabling portable rams at an earlier age and improving the work speed of all hill forts. Wow, this is even good. Like, this says to me so much that there could be like an age 2 aggression here where you go all out, double hill fort, you're getting rams out, you can ram push it in age 2 or something crazy. And the training of units and research rates at the hill forts is increased as well. There's definitely something that you can do here. But you are going to need a lot of favor. And that's going to be tricky because you need to fight with the Norse to be able to gain favor. All right, so that's age 2 in a nutshell. Moving on to age 3 here. We, of course, have Bragi here, which is our minor god that we've had before. Let's see our new one here in age 3 is Aegir here, god of the sea and storms, focusing on heroes and siege weapons. So we have Tempest, target a location to unleash a vicious hailstorm, damaging enemies and heavily slowing their attacks and movements. Wow. We have Rock Giant. Oh my god, look at this. Rock Giant, one absolute beast. Myth unit, primordial damage absorbing giant with rock solid durability. Good against human soldiers and buildings. So he's probably going to have some kind of crush attack or something, most likely to help take down buildings. It's nice to see another giant. We have the fire giant, frost giant, hill giant. Now we have a rock giant. So I'm loving the giant stuff there. And then we have granite moor here. Very cheap as well. Look at that. Only 68 wood to get this upgrade in and 15 favor here. So it upgrades the rock giants to Bergrissars, whose insatiable hunger allows them to regenerate when attacking enemy buildings and deal more damage. So basically, eat buildings, ladies and gents, to recuperate. And we can see there 20% more damage, and we have that ability to heal yourself. So that's very, very interesting. Beasts of Renown. Aega's boundless hospitality radiates from your town centers and hill forts, enabling them to heal nearby units and trickle food into your store. Oh my god, we've got a trickle, ladies and gents. We have a trickle here, another trickle. Some people like this stuff, some people don't, but we have an automatic trickle, another ability here coming in. And what this does is you get the heal action from the town center, and then I think it's town centers and hill forts. Yeah. So they all trickle one food a second, is that? Depending on how many hill forts. And does that include spectral hill forts? Potentially. So this guy's basically like a hill fort spammer. And when you get more hill forts, it's just going to be better for you. Rather than going for generic long houses and stuff like that. Maybe the way is you just have lots of hill forts. And we do have 9 waves here, which is a nice water one. Aegon grants you hero and siege weapons, the crushing might of the ocean, making them inflict more damage and move faster. Okay, so it's not actually specifically water here. We can see heroes have an increased speed, and heroes have 20% more damage. Only 89 food. That's so cheap, and it's so specific as well. 89 food. That's because technologies are costing 50% less. I think that's why. We've got some strange figures floating about there. But 89 food, and wow, yeah, some siege weapon damage increase, which is nice. Grasp of Ran here. Aega's Wrath occasionally summons krakens near enemy ships that your dragon ships are attacking. Wow, so that's kind of like a Loki style thing, right? So with Loki, when you're attacking with Hersers and also with infantry, as time goes on, you build up a certain kind of unknown amount of favor, let's say, or it's an unknown amount of resource, and every time it'll get to a certain threshold and it will pop and it will proc a random myth unit to be spawned when you're fighting. And this is very similar for Grasp of Ran here, so that's cool to see. All right, so that's the heroic age. Moving on to the final big boy age for mythic age here, and we have Vidar here. So Hell is a minor god that we already have in the game. We have Vidar, god of vengeance and resilience. Focus is human soldiers and heroes. And we've got the Inferno ability. Target a fiery path of destruction. The great wolf FREYR will emerge and charge, engulfing enemies in flames before erupting into an apocalyptic inferno of flame and ruin. Wow, that sounds pretty wild. So that's an insane god ability. That just sounds nuts, just even reading it. And then we look at a lovely myth unit here, the Fafnir. I think Fafnir, 300 coin there, 35 favor. It's a myth unit, of course, cursed but devastatingly powerful. Wingless dragon that engulfs enemies with fire and poison. Grants gold to its slayer. Exceptional against human soldiers. And actually, the screen's kind of cut off there a little bit. So maybe that's something for the devs there. I can't actually see the bottom bit, but I'm sure it's also good against buildings. We do see Twilight of the Gods. Once again, very cheap. Vidar's destiny to survive Ragnarok grants your human soldiers more HP and enables them to inflict extra damage to heroes. Unfortunately, I can't see how much that actually is because it's cutting off the screen there, which is a shame. But I'm sure we can maybe scroll along here and maybe we can find it. Let's have a quick look. Yes, here it is. Yes. So human soldier HP is 10%. And it adds extra bonus damage against heroes for human soldiers, which is really nice. Let's have a quick look at the other one then that I missed. What was the other one? It was the Fafnir, right? Let's have a look. There it is. Yes, good against human soldiers and buildings. That's what I thought. Nice. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Avenging Spirit. Vidar's spirit causes your Hersers hammers to grow mightier with each strike, increasing in size and damage as they fight. That's hilarious. I've got to see that in action. Wow. How big do the hammers get? That's really nice. I like that. And let's just quickly see if we scroll along here. Yeah. So Hersers do 20% more damage after inflicting 50 total, then 40 for 150, and then 60. So it is diminishing after time. It's not exponential. It is diminishing. You've got to do way more damage as time goes on to be able to get those extra 20% damage tick-ups. But a really nice, cool addition there. And I like the hammer growing in size as well. That's kind of cool. All right, Silent Resolve here. Vidar's stoic silence inspires your berserkers to gather strength when idle. slowly increasing the damage when they are still. Wow. So once again, very good if you're playing maybe defensive and you're waiting for an opponent to attack and you're turtling. You're not using your units that much, so they're going to be standing still and they're not going to be doing as much damage. And there it is. So Berserk enables idle damage bonus action. Don't really have a lot of detail specifically around how much damage they slowly get and what cap it is. It doesn't really give us that information, unfortunately, so we'll have to see that in action. And finally, we have Fury of the Fallen here. Vidar grants Berserk, a temporary damage boost whenever one of your military units falls in battle nearby. The death boost nearby Berserk briefly gains 15% damage, which is nice. There it is. Nice. Perfect. Really, really nice. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to wrap up the overview of the technology tree there for FREYR, the new major god for the Norse, god of fertility and kingship. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are about this. Are you already strategizing, metacrafting, trying to come up with some kind of wild strat? Maybe it's turtling, maybe it's actually going for an age 2 aggression and you want to slam down your spectral hill forts and then slam down another with ring oath, and then maybe you can then go in for Yadalir here and start producing rams at a very, very quick rate and demolishing your opponent before they even think about getting into heroic age. So guys, hope you enjoyed that. Of course, as I said, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this and what you're thinking about. And of course, I will catch you in another Retold video very, very soon. I'll catch you guys later.